The original Zambian dancer Emperor Peter Senzagaze representing for the dance of fraternity and the people they have seen. One leg in the water, another one at the fire. Just want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel MD90. Enjoy some interviews right there. Boom!
So as you may be aware by now, a number of advocates or protesters were arrested the past few days, and they have been released as of this broadcast, and they remain defiant. So this was reported in the Daily Nation. They say they can arrest us as many times, and then, but for as long as President Hichilema does not arrest the ever-escalating cost of living, we shall continue to speak out on the suffering of Zambians, says Chanda Chikwanka, advises the head of state not to be allergic to criticism. So the lady that you see on screen there on this particular news extract is one of the people that was arrested. Then after being released, that statement was made by those people. There are a number of them. I'm pretty sure by the end of this broadcast, we're going to see the rest of the protesters that were arrested, that have been in police custody for a number of days. And then part of this headline also in the Daily Nation say Edgar Chagalungu begs for regime change in 2026. That's Sean Tembo's article that he had put out a couple of hours ago, where he was jabbing at a number of alliances that say they seem to be ready to work with Edgar Chagwalungu, but are trying to cast a blind eye on the Patriotic Front. So part of that article, Sean Tembo was saying people should be ready if they want Edgar Lungu's strongholds or pretty much his groundwork. He should be ready to work with the PF and not just associating with Edgar Lungu because he's the head of the PF. That is from Tembo's analysis. And then Calabar advises Haren Hichilema to say to stay away from Unka or from Unga, pretty much Unga there. So those are some of the headlines coming from there. And then government embarks on the 24/7 digital economy. And so then when these protesters were released, it was reported in Mwebantu and pretty much a number of platforms. So Mwebantu had said, power of social media free at last after 13 days in police custody. So those individuals that were arrested were in police custody for the past 13 days. Police have released Jason Mwanza, age 23, Chanda Chikwanka, age 30, and Thomas Zulu, age 53, who were held over 13 days without being granted a bond for protesting over load shedding and high cost of living. So, and then they feature a number of pictures from that. So this was reshared by George Mutonga, a very strong supporter of the UPND based in the USA. So, and then someone commented on this particular share. I'll read you the caption that George Mutonga used on this particular photo. So, this is what George Mutonga, when we shared the photo of the protesters, so those are the people that were earlier named. So George Mutonga reshared this from Mwebantu and then added this caption. Again, UPND will lose favor with the people if they continue. This can't arrest. You can't arrest people for complaining. This is what was happening under PF. You can never arrest poverty. No matter what you do, you cannot intimidate people who have every right to voice their disdain for government's performance. If they wanted the government to arrest them, I mean, if they wanted a government that arrests them, they would protest. They wouldn't protest. They would have just kept PF. So simply saying, the point is trying to put across there to say the UPND should be very careful with this format that they are utilizing. Every dissenting voice, they seem to be arresting and say, this is what the people had rejected in the PF. So if they continue with this trajectory, people would have easily kept the PF as opposed to change the regime in 2021 with the UPND. That's George Mutonga's analysis on that, to say this is a warning towards the UPND. This format of arresting protesters cannot work, and you cannot intimidate people. That's part of this thing there. So, and then someone responded to him on this particular article. So Derek Hope responded to him. Everything you post Nishi Kulumbula mo PF, or what has PF done to you? Why are you using PF as an excuse for your failure? A government in power always talking about opposition. PF is like that ex who's missed. Everyone misses PF. We know that. So that is analysis. And then George responded to that individual. He says, well, this is a stupid comment. PF is the previous government, just as MMD was the previous government. And no, PF will never come back. We never come back to power. We use you to show what not to do. So that is a rebuttal to that particular individual who had said, why you continue attaching the PF? And then later on, George Mutonga, because he's been issuing a number of statements that the PF have been sharing, so he put it clearly, and then he attaches protest which Muvita Nawa, Wezi, Mwiza Zulu, and then Michael Zulu should have been part of the one that was referred to as the Bush protest. It attaches that video, and then George Mutonga says, when I'm correcting the UPND, I do not know why PF members think it means we want them back. That relationship ended a long time, and you will never come back. We will work to correct the UPND. It doesn't mean we want you back. You will never come back. So you're simply clarifying that his critique to the UPND does not necessarily mean that he wants the PF back there. And then obviously in this comment section, Oscar Banda responds to him, you are just a boring guy. You have nothing to write about. You're just obsessed with the PF. PF is like that German machine. You will be shocked. Background ni PF iliko. So he says. And then George Mutonga responds. He says, you lost by 1 million votes. I wouldn't be talking if I was you. PF is owned by Mao Sampa. You do not even own it at background. So he's saying that wrangle between Edgar Lungu and Mao Sampa is still ongoing as things stand at the moment. And then in the news diggers, there's this same HH must be humble and grateful that citizens are not going on the streets over load shedding. So that's credited to news diggers headline to say the president should be grateful. Actually, people are not even going on the streets to protest over the same. And then another headline, this is still, yes, this is still in the news diggers. I will continue commending UPND. It does the right, even if it costs me in 2026, Sunday Chanda. So Sunday Chanda used to be the media director in PF, and then he became Kanchwia member of parliament. So since then, he hasn't been associating very much with the PF meetings or anything like that. So he's simply saying you will not stop commending where the UPN delivers and does the commendable work, even if it means him losing the elections in his constituency come 2026. That's Sunday Chanda's view there. And then still in the news diggers, time to account. Mimbula Mining paid me $350,000 US for consultancy Lusambo Scott. So Bowman Lusambo's court case is proceeding right now. And then he shares to say he offered consultancy services, and that's what he was paid, that amount there. We wait and see how that plays out, but that's at the moment, that's what it is. And then court hears how Archbishop Banda received vehicle from ZRA, part of the headline there. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen.